So welcome everyone again to our webinar today. Chef Bill is having some technical difficulties with his camera. And since his camera is off, I'm probably going to take my camera down too. We're going to pull the PowerPoint up and then it'll just be us talking. So um, let me go ahead and get that pulled up. We aren't together today, if you notice. Chef
Yeah,
Bill's doing a lot of traveling this week, so.
yeah, a lot of traveling and just busy like everyone else, right? This is the busy time of year. So thank you for joining us, and hopefully you did not join just to see our faces.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started because like I said, it is 1:30 now. So today it's closing your kitchen for the summer is what our topic is. Um, our normal housekeeping rules. This webinar is being recorded. And we'll try to get that posted as soon as possible. Certificates. So after the after the webinar, we've already got an email ready to go. You'll receive the email, and Taylor has put together a link. You don't have to complete the survey to receive your certificate, but we hope you will. That just helps us improve everything. If you're watching as a group, so if you all haven't individually registered, but you're all together in your office or something watching, please send me an email with a list of everybody's names and their email addresses so I can get the link to them and get them added to the roster. Summer events. So you probably have already seen our email when that went out, and hopefully you're already registered, but we have many skill development training scheduled for this summer. So I think it's over 20 trainings. And we did make some changes this year that we hope you all were like. We went, typically it's a 3-day training, but we have changed that to a 2-day training. Does everybody see the PowerPoint okay? If you just want to give me a thumbs up in the chat. We're having some issues today, guys, so you just have to bear with us. Can't? Okay, perfect. So you can scan that QR code there, or you can go to our website to register if you haven't already registered. And I also wanted to mention the School Nutrition Association of Oklahoma's state conference. It's going to be here in Stillwater this year, and we're really excited about that. And that's July 29th through August 1st. Chef Bill and I will be there. Chef Bill will be putting on several sessions. And if you're interested in registering for that, you can go to snaofok.org. And I think they have like a conference tab with a link to registration there. Bill, you want anything else to mention on this slide before I go on? It's
If
weird not
anybody
seeing
wants
your
to have
face.
if anybody wants to have a good time in Ada, come join me. I will be there. So
You'll be in Ada and McAllister, Lawton,
and
Enid.
Enid. Yep.
Yeah, all great places, all great good
So,
little
but
facilities.
if you've not been to Ada, you have not been to Paradise. That's all I'm saying. So
They have a really nice facility. I haven't got to go, but you said they have a really nice facility there.
yes, it is. It is something to behold. They color code every. They have 4 workstations, and they have them all color coded. So if you have a pink whisk and a green station,
That's such a smart idea.
it is. So
Okay,
it is a wonderful facility to train in. So I
they're
was
really great to work with.
pushing the facility, and also a really nice training. And I think the 2-day thing is going to be very helpful for everyone to have it be kind of concise and not really interfere with your summer too much, but still get the same amount of information. So
Right,
please join us.
we're excited. Okay, so today's topic of closing your kitchen for the summer. After viewing today's webinar, you should be able to identify maintenance needs, perform proper kitchen closing procedures, adapt a kitchen to a summer feeding production kitchen, and adhere to food safety standards for transport during summer feeding. you guys have any questions, just put them into the chat too. We'll try to answer them as we go along. Or you can wait to the end, either one.
Right. And
But
the reason that we're doing this, where it's not saying, okay, let's uh get your kitchens closed. This is all about planning, right? So that's why we're doing it a month ahead. So then you can maybe take some of these resources and make your closing of the kitchen or transferring it into a summer feeding kitchen a lot smoother, a lot easier, because why reinvent the wheel if someone else has already done it? So for those that have closed the kitchen um, before or numerous times, please let us know something that we may have missed. So that we're in all this together. So
okay, our checklist. Chef Bill, you want to share
sure,
kind of the areas that we want to emphasize here?
sure. Just as a reminder, I managed both Kellyville and Berry Hill school districts a long time ago. And closing the kitchen for the summer because we didn't do summer feeding was not the easiest thing to do because we did not have a checklist. Unfortunately, we just kind of relied on what we thought would be important. But I think having a checklist is very helpful so you don't miss anything. So, inventory management, all of that is kind of using up what may be perishable or using stuff that may be out of date over the summer. Try to get that used up in your menus. A lot of schools do chef's choice the last week of school. So I think that's a good way to use up kind of your perishables or things that may be out of date. But remember, be in compliance with your meal patterns and offer all 5 components. Don't just make it a, oh, it's a New Year's Eve Super Bowl party and everyone has wings. That's not the intention. The intention is to be smart about it, but uh, be a good business person at the same time. So, and then equipment maintenance, that's really important to maintain the equipment. It's a great time to clean or have scheduled to get your hoods cleaned, clean your speed racks, clean maybe the walk-in racks that the ranch may have spilled on during the year. Really try to look at your equipment and how can I have that be beautiful when I come back from summer vacation. So it's just like when you go on vacation. I don't know if you do this or not, but I clean the house before I leave. So
Bill, I
when I
think you
come,
can read my mind because that's exactly what I was going to say. Who likes to come home from vacation to a messy house? I think it's kind
right.
of the same concept.
So it's kind of funny that we do that, but we are human. So we'll celebrate our humanity and not our pitfalls. But but absolutely just look at the equipment. Maybe there was some new equipment. I was down at Bray Doyle and they got a brand new steamer from Vulcan. They got a grant. However, they need it plumbed. So that could be kind of where you can get your maintenance team to um have it where it's in place. And if you're not accessible during the summer, then you're able to kind of pre-plan of where exactly it's going to be placed. So, and then of course cleaning and sanitizing. um I will have to say, if you want to eat in the cleanest kitchen in town, then you need to eat at a school cafeteria. So I'm not going to talk about this too much because everyone has really good habits of cleaning, but it is something to think about, especially if you have new employees. Pest control, that's a big one because there's not going to be traffic that's going to be in your kitchens, probably, unless you're doing summer feeding or some other activities um, like cheerleading camp or, something like that. An idle storeroom is just a playground for all different types of insects or maybe rodents. So really kind of look at where the holes are, get those patched up, make sure that you have any bait or traps that are ready to go and they can last for 2 or 3 months. So really try to look at that. Dry storage, this is a good time to make sure that it's organized. I think that's a good one. Maybe alphabetize your spice rack. Wouldn't that be a fun activity to do? Also, to make sure that the floor is really clean and that things are not out of date. This is a good time to maybe throw away that 1 tablespoon of cinnamon that's left in that gallon container because you probably don't need it. You're going to order new cinnamon when you come back in August. So think of those things that you've been holding on to and you're like, oh, it's time to purge that. So documentation, any last year-end things that maybe your administration needs from you. Make sure that that is taken care of, as well as maybe checking for food handlers cards. Hey, whose is going to expire or is going to be in need for that recertification or whatever is required of your county of the state. So look at those things that you can plan ahead for. So security, make sure that all your locks are working. If you need to change locks because maybe for some unforeseen reason, schedule that to get those changed. If you need extra security, I mean, we're living in a world where it can be a little bit a free for all for some people. So if you need to add an extra padlock or something like that, then I think that that's a good time to get that done by the end of the year. So these are things that you can just start thinking about now. It's April 10th, right? Most of us will be out within a month or 5 or 6 weeks. So these are things that you can plan because, as well as I do, you just can't snap your fingers and the maintenance department is going to come and do what you want. So get on their list. So
You want to
um,
go
to,
ahead and move on to the next slide because we're going to go into these a little bit more into
oh,
detail.
we are. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So perfect.
So
Well,
inventory management.
yeah. And pictures are good since you can't
Yeah.
see our faces. So. So this is a really nice walk-in with good lighting, and things are labeled. So go ahead and look at those things. It helps exactly what I was kind of talking about. If you organize your inventory, then you can see what you have on hand and what you can use. So if you have been short-staffed during the year, this is a good time to get everything back up to snuff. So, but using up inventory allows for you to clean it the day that you're leaving or days that right before you're going to be gone. So most of us have 2 days after the kids leave in order to clean up. So using up your inventory is a great way to do that. I don't know what kind of policies there are of schools, but if you can't use up all your leftovers, then maybe a donation to a food pantry may be appropriate. So. But how about if you have a surplus? Here's a great slide that Cass, I think you're going to send out to them.
Yeah, I'll send out all the slides so you'll have all of these after the webinar.
So yeah, pizza toppings. This is a great way to use up those
Steak
those
fingers with
items.
gravy. I haven't ever thought about that as a pizza topping, but that might be kind of fun. Kind of
Yeah,
it's different. Who doesn't love
mhm.
steak fingers and gravy?
Right. And who doesn't like pizza?
Yeah.
So why not have both? So that could be your Super Bowl party. Is that
Yeah.
wow? We're gonna have both today. Lettuce wraps are really good to put anything into a tortilla. Those that have salad bars, here's a great way to get some of that protein on there. This is one of our favorites, bento boxes,
Mhm.
that you can actually build. And if you're doing summer feeding, this is a great way to use up those things. And then mac and cheese. It's crazy what you can put into mac and cheese these days.
Mac and cheese
Um,
bar.
yeah, and let them choose. The more that we give kids the ability to choose what they're going to consume, the more likely they are going to eat it. So I think that's really important for that. So using leftovers on salad bars, kind of going one step further, repurposing proteins,
Like
using cooked
vegetables.
vegetables. Yeah, like what is that? Three bean salad, it has green beans, wax beans, kidney beans.
What about even roasted veggies, like leftover roasted veggies?
Hmm.
Salad
Yeah,
bar.
roasted vegetables, those go really well. Those that are making ratatouille out there, that's a good thing. It's either good hot or cold. So, rice, if you have leftover rice, make a rice salad. So, be creative maybe with dressings. You may have run out of ranch. Oh my, that could have been. You can
Not in
make your own.
Oklahoma.
Yeah, you can make your own ranch, right? Or you can make a different dressing. So who knows? And then be creative with kind of your mix-ins. Anything. I'm going to be doing a catering tomorrow, and I'm making a succotash, and I think there's 14 ingredients in that succotash. So there's great utilization of different flavor combos, and to make it really colorful, this is an opportunity for you to make that salad bar look really inviting and different. So don't forget to label it too. So if you're creating something, let's say Nancy's creating some type of fun noodle salad, maybe label it Crazy Nancy's Noodle Salad. So then it's seen as something that's new, right? So, and if you can list the ingredients on there, list the ingredients on there. So,
And not just salad bars, but grab and go salads too. This is a good time to
mhm.
kind of experiment with some new grab and go salad ideas.
Right. And maybe if kids really like that, just because you created it out of leftovers, it may become a popular hit that you're going to do in the fall. So
Right.
use this time to sample stuff out. Um, do that stuff that you were thinking that, man, I really wish I could do this. And just make sure that it's not too sugary, not too salty, not too oily. But just make sure that you create something fun for you and your kids. Here's some great things that are on our website, right?
Yes. And these are
Yeah.
all with like your commodity processed proteins. So
Okay,
kind of
so we're talking about diced chicken, right?
Mhm.
About beef crumbles, all of these main headings that we have up here. These are
If
great
you've got
things.
a lot of diced chicken left, we've got all of these recipes that you can find on our website.
Right. And there are four daycare centers, Head Start, as well as pre-K through 12. So
Mhm.
we have all of those available. So please take advantage of them. Those that have been doing my topic trainings, we've delved into some of these, but there's a lot more out there. So please take advantage of our recipes because we love them.
We do. So now we're moving on to equipment management.
Yes. So this is kind of what I was talking about on the first slide. Sorry for being long-winded on that one. If I was sitting next to Cass, she would have poked me. So unfortunately, she did not. So we'll just quickly go over this again. Clean and sanitize, hood cleaning, floor cleaning, grease trap in Tulsa County. There's a huge initiative of not putting grease down the drains. So um, painting or repairing floors, right? Lighting, if there's that extra lighting, you're like, man, it's really dark in this corner. maybe put in a maintenance request and get an extra light put in that corner. And then as I was talking about installing new equipment, just make sure that you're very communicative with the maintenance staff when they go in there and they start plumbing and putting in that new equipment that you fought really hard to get your grant for. So, and then of course turn off or unplug any small equipment that's not in use because there may be a power surge, right? We're in some funky weather lately, so just make sure that you protect those things because there may not be money to replace that blender or that Roku.
And it also helps save on electricity, even those small items if they're left plugged in, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot all about that. Yeah, it still takes in a little bit more, so. But don't forget to plug them back in when you come back and say, "Oh my gosh, it's broken." So, cleaning and sanitizing. Yeah, here's a great um kind of slide to make sure that you're cleaning these things.
And
When I
this
worked for
link down here at the bottom can take you all to to print it off. This is a really,
Can you alter it or is this a PDF?
it's a PDF.
Okay. So, sometimes you can put a PDF through like a filter and then you can create your own.
Mhm.
So you can use
Good
this as a
starting place.
Mm-hmm. So, those that are really tech savvy get out there and do that. So, um, one of the things when I worked for Tulsa Public Schools, they have their own bakery, is to make sure that those speed racks and those baking racks are cleaned from top to bottom because things have been baked on them. It's a good time to go outside. Hopefully, it's nice weather and get out the hose. I'm not advocating a water fight, but sometimes it's fun. Sometimes it could be fun. So do it all in good fun and if it's the last 2 days, I as a manager would say, hey, blast your music as much as you want, as long as everyone is enjoying the same music. So
Oh, this is just the second half of the list.
oh, okay. But easier to see. So I like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So make sure that a lot of people have garbage disposals. Maybe do some garbage disposal maintenance because who wants to come back to a stinky garbage disposal? So think of those enzymes that you can put down your sink that may can eat some food debris. Everyone's really good at putting sheet pans into big uh, trash bags so they don't get dusty. There's all sorts of things that you can do to hit the ground running when you come back because we are hit with opening meetings, right? We're hit with getting our uh, inventory back up together and waiting for our food trucks to come and just doing some spot cleaning. So just really think ahead of what you can do to make sure that you don't have to re-clean everything because maybe there is going to be some painting going on. That's a good thing
Mhm.
to think about if you are going to have new painting in your kitchen or in your dining room. Coordinate with the painter and say, I'm going to put all the tables over here, or I'm going to put all the utensils in this area. Maybe put them on carts so then they can move them around if they need to. So I think that's where that communication piece kind of comes in. So
Oh, sorry about that.
that's okay. So pest control, right? Make sure that they do come, you know, the pest people don't stop, right? So make sure that they come in however often you have them scheduled for. And if you see any openings, make sure that you have that on a maintenance request or you do it yourself. So storage, label, and organizing. I think label, that's a good one. Maybe if you are covering it with a trash bag and you can't see through it, maybe put a label and say what it is. Get that blue tape going in your Sharpie. Documentation, we kind of talked about that. But then I just let off the top of my head. What about your health cards or anything that you need to get updated? So
Professional development,
yes, aka skill
cooking for kids.
development. Yeah. Security, yeah. Kind of talked about that. Get those padlocks. Make sure everyone that needs new keys gets new keys, right? Oh, that was a good one. I didn't even think of it. Leave contact information for emergencies. So how about if the walk-in goes down, who do you call? And who do you call if you can't get a hold of that person? So, and then final checks, make sure that everything is good. It's just like Mr. Rogers when he's leaving his little house, he turns off the light and locks the door. So, and if you are well planned and you have checklists, your peace of mind, I think, is going to be so much better, more advantageous for you because you're not going to be like, oh, did I do that? If you have a checklist, then it's going to be a lot easier for you just to say, okay, see you in 2.5 months. So, and then maybe future planning. That was the last thing that was on there.
Sorry, I
What are
skipped
we
it.
actually going to do when we come back? Right. So, who's going to be in what kitchen? If you have 30 facilities and you need to switch some staff around, make sure they know on the day one that they're not going to middle school. They are going to that early childhood start.
So here is the checklist, all of those things together, and you'll get a copy of this that you can print off if you would like.
Thank you, Cass, for doing that. That's awesome. Was there a main, did some of this come from ICN or was it just from our
I think
experience? Are
it's
there,
through several conversations.
okay.
Steph Callie had some input on it, you had some input on it, so our content experts kind of
Oh,
contributed.
okay. So this is an original, people.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
we are not we are not
I'll go back to it for a second.
so oh
Yep.
thank you, Rosalind. Yeah, please use it.
Okay,
And then
on,
add to it. Add to it.
yeah, for
So
sure.
so if anyone has anything to add to that, please let us know in the chat.
Yeah, because we could have missed something.
Hmm.
So now on to if you're doing summer feeding and maybe you have multiple sites, but you need to consolidate down to one like central production. So that's what we'll talk about next.
So I think this summer, more than I think in the past, someone said, can you go back to the checklist
Go back real
back
quick.
there?
But you'll
So
get a
just as
copy.
yeah, just as a reminder, we are sending this via email for everyone. But I think this summer, just shopping for myself, and I'm sure you guys have experienced this too, is that groceries are going up and up and up. So we're going to see another increase in eggs because of the avian flu. So there's all these dynamic stuff that's happening. So those that are doing summer feeding and have committed to doing it, I applaud you because um, there is a need out there when
Definitely.
especially when people are on a budget, right? So
Lots of kiddos depend on it. So
mhm,
yes, we applaud you.
yeah. So if you aren't doing summer feeding for some reason that it wasn't that popular last summer, maybe you can point them into food pantries or something, just be a resource for those. And I'm just giving a little shout out to, and be a resource for information. So
Great idea.
but if you are going to do a centralized kitchen, where I know a lot of people do that instead of having multiple kitchens do the same work, just be efficient in your menu planning. So try to have minimal inventory because you know as well as I do, you don't know who's going to come.
Mhm.
There could be, especially if you have summer sports um camps and cheerleading camps, that there are definite numbers that probably will be needing some feeding. But if you're just doing it for the community, because I know that it can be anywhere to 18 years of age, anybody can come in. So just be very efficient and streamline your inventory for sure. And then also streamline your production process, say, okay, everyone, it's time to make sandwiches. Get everyone on board to help do sandwiches. That'll help, number one, with getting it done, food safety, so things aren't out so much. And then also just making it a little bit more fun. I mean, um, who doesn't like to have a little help and don't think that they're having to do it all themselves? It just makes it go by faster, and you can gossip about, I don't know, your favorite reality show, or what you're gonna do, with your garden, or maybe just do it in silence, make it a Zen moment. But um I think that doing stuff together does create some camaraderie. Number one, gets the job done faster to focus on food safety issues and kind of
That's what I
eradicate
was going to
those.
ask you. Do you, the assembly line really, do you think makes the process go faster? Is my
Can you
question for
repeat?
you. An
Yeah.
assembly line really makes the production go faster,
Oh yeah, for sure. Because you already have everything there. So
right?
if you're gonna have like 20 loaves of bread, make sure on the cart that there's going to be backup of that bread. So really try to think about how you can uh, make sure that everything is in its place. It's called mise en place. For those that have been to our summer training, it's French for everything in its place. Um, but in an assembly line, it's just like the fireman's drill, right? If you're getting sandbags to a low level place where there's water, it's easier just to hand things off than it is for you to make one sandwich and see it all the way through. So and then switch it up. Maybe Sandy doesn't want to be bread girl anymore. She wants to do cheese. Well, let Sandy have her cheese. So just be in good communication of how happy your employees are. So and knowing their roles. And then here's the big thing is coordinating those delivery schedules, especially if you're going out into the community, setting up maybe in a gazebo or a park, or delivering to a church. Some places, churches are distribution points. So just make sure that, are you delivering it? Are they coming to pick it up? And set those expectations that if they're 15 minutes late, that means it delays everything and it could make for food safety. So try to set up those expectations as well as consequences. So, which goes right into the quality control measures, right? To make sure that the food is safe. That's a underlying thing. Also taste and appearance, as well as following the nutritional guidelines. So, and then maybe every once in a while, that, what was that long time ago? The sticker that said Inspector Number 12. Maybe if you are doing a production line, just maybe take a sample out and make sure that everything is being done correctly. Because some school districts may be doing 500 sandwiches a day, and maybe some are only going to be doing 12. It still is the same kind of approach to make sure that the right amount of meat is on there, the right amount of cheese. Anticipate maybe they want to have mayonnaise, so make sure you have mayonnaise packets, and It's all those things, like if you go to a grocery store, either Love's or Quick Trip or what have you, it's still kind of the same concept. Um, Give it that retail feel. So it does look good. And then any type of utensils that may be needed, right?
Mhm.
Maybe some kids are going to eat there or eat right outside of there. Make sure that they have their plasticware and their napkins that they need. Maybe set up a water station. So they maybe they had to walk there. So just think of all those things as customers. So staff training and development. I think that's a good time to have like an opening meeting and saying, okay, this is what we expect for the summer. And if it's your first time doing summer feeding, really try to be as detailed with your plan as possible with your team so they know how to execute it on your behalf. And team members, those that are here, um, why don't you voice saying, I don't understand what's going on. So ask for clarity for sure. So
It's
make
always
sure,
okay to ask.
yeah, right. So those things will make it smoother and even better. So um my thing too is, in try to get that word out as much as possible because you're doing a lot of work and you want to make sure that that kids are fed and that they enjoy it. So
And well, that kind of leads into the feedback and improvement, listen to what your staff and what the community has and, implement changes if you can. It's not always possible, but we always are looking to improve things if we can. Um, so.
and if you're really excited about your program, I know some communities have access to TV stations coming, you know, even if it's a newspaper,
Mhm.
saying these are the sites and these are the times. So this is the time right now to start planning that and contacting the press and the news people to get that word out for you. So here is a wonderful graphic. I know Chef Callie works on this a lot, so hats off to her
Bento boxes
during
would be a
this.
great thing for summer feeding.
Mm-hmm. For the main reason, this is good for an assembly line, right? So it can be done in a centralized kitchen. It also allows you to keep it, especially if you have it under refrigeration. And how about if uh, you were expecting 25 kids and only 10 kids show up? So you have 15 left over. You can reuse this the next day if it does not fall out of that danger zone and is in put in really good um uh uh safe caring. So
And there's
um
endless combinations
right.
you can do here.
Yes.
And I think, speaking of combinations, that's what we have on the next slide, some of our most popular kind of combinations.
Yes. Cass, can you kind of talk about this a little bit? That was my dad calling.
Oh, um,
Okay.
yeah,
I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
okay. We've got our turkey pinwheels. I think a breakfast bento box would be really fun I think that's a pancake sandwich. And if I can remember correctly, those are chicken nuggets between the little pancakes. And you could even do those with waffles. It'd be a lot of fun. The build your own nachos, um, build your own taco. Our protein bites, if you haven't tried that recipe, they're really popular. It's like oats and peanut butter or sun butter. I think in the recipe it calls for peanut butter, but I know a lot of schools don't do peanuts, so I'm sure it could be sub. And then the trail mix. Um, but yeah, I think they're a lot of fun. Um, kind of like make your own Lunchable. But again, it's, endless kind of combinations you can do. Yeah, schools do not do peanuts. Yeah, I know a lot. I know some do though. I think here in Stillwater, it says peanut butter and jelly, but I don't know, they might be sun butter.
I'm
Um,
back. I'm
okay,
back.
good.
So,
I was trying to hold off going on to the next slide until you return.
oh, okay. No, that's fine.
Um, but Bill, have you ever made the protein bites with sun butter? Because a lot of schools can't do peanut butter.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
imagine.
Sun butter is a little bit, so you need to experiment with sun butter and just make sure that it is a little bit runnier than peanut butter.
Oh, okay.
So just
Probably
be
that's a
aware of
good
that.
note to make. Maybe we should test our protein bites, get in the kitchen and test it. Maybe we can do a sun butter version of those because there are some
Mhm.
can't do peanut butter.
Yeah, so my solution with that is just add a little bit more of the oatmeal. So
Is sun butter better than almond butter? I think it's just depending on like the food allergy is
yeah.
the reason a lot of people because it's sun butter is sunflower seed, correct?
Yes,
So
correct.
almond butter, it's kind of runny too, but if you've got students with like a tree nut allergy.
hmm So, but in terms of consistency, it really depends if you're baking it or if you're
Mhm.
just slapping it on bread. So,
Right.
maybe it's a great opportunity to do a taste test with your kids.
Yeah.
The more that they're able to say, "Hey, I like some butter better than almond butter," then that's um, that's one more way that you're engaging your student. So this graphic is about if you're going to set up kind of a mobile site, maybe
Yeah,
is
Bill,
good.
can I stop you real quick because I made a mistake here. I forgot to credit this photo because I want to make sure that we credit our sources.
Oh,
That
okay.
photo did come from ICN. I just didn't add that little
Oh,
disclaimer
okay.
at the bottom. So I just want everybody to know that this photo came from ICN.
Okay. Yeah. So this is a portable hand washing station. If you ever been to farmers markets, especially in Tulsa County, that's where I live, they want to see this. So they want to make sure that you have uh, the access to actually washing your hands. Hand sanitizer doesn't cut it, um, especially if you are away from a hand sink. So, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and oh, Taylor made a comment, but it's not to
Yeah.
everyone. I read it. Sun butter doesn't fall in the list of top 8 allergens like peanut butter and almond butter do. That is correct. Sunflower seeds are not one of the top 8 allergens, so it is a safer option, and that's why a lot of schools use sun butter.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks for sharing.
So this is a great graphic. Um, um, and maybe saying you need to set it up, say this is the way it should be set up. So pictures are worth 1,000 words. So handling and transporting food. Um, uh, get hot boxes if you need them. They have these wonderful styrofoam things that you can put hotel pans and serving pans in. So just make sure that when you put that food in there, that the hot food's above 135 or 140, and the cold stuff is between 41, and you have a way to keep that cold. Maybe use ice packs or gel packs. Make sure you have a thermometer that's handy and everyone knows how to use it. Milk is probably one of the toughest ones to keep cold. And I'm just reminding myself, and I don't know the details, but if milk goes out of temperature, it decreases its shelf life considerably every 10 degrees or something like that, or every 5 degrees. So just be careful with those products that you keep them within temperature. So And then if you are on the receiving end of delivery, I wouldn't be ashamed, or you're not telling on anyone if you pull out your trusty thermometer and it's not in temperature, and you have no way to reheat it, then there's a problem there. So just think of those things, because no one wants to have food poisoning. No one wants to give people food poisoning. And you always want to correct your procedures. So maybe you need to deliver right near service time. So instead of maybe delivering it a half an hour beforehand. So just think of those things in your own situation. So everything's a little bit different. So
Couple more tips here.
pack food properly. Yeah, that's a good one.
Hmm.
First time I had catering when I was working in San Diego, I forgot to wrap up the soy sauce. So my
Uh-oh.
car smelled like soy sauce for a few months. So in the business we call it a hurricane wrap. So just wrap that food as tight as you can so it does shift, right? We do have distracted drivers out there, so you never know when you have to apply those brakes. So also secure containers with bungee cords. So those are very important, especially if you have a cargo van. Those are always available to do that. Plan your routes carefully. I like that one. Be a UPS driver, only make right turns.
And have a backup plan.
Yes, what happens if um something, right? So
You never know. You never know what could happen.
mhm.
I think you
So
touched on this a little bit already, but it doesn't hurt
yeah,
to.
calibrate your thermometers, make sure that they are ready to go. Maybe discard any unsafe food. Again, if you're receiving something from someone and it's not in temperature, notify that supervisor and say, hey, how can I reheat this, or bring me some sandwiches.
And if that happens, talk about how you can adjust your procedures. What do we need to do differently?
Mhm. So monitor that food temperature. Most of us, when I was involved with summer feeding, it's a very small window. It's only like an hour. It's not 2 or 3 hours, where you're just kind of waiting around. So, but if you are designing that way, be very thoughtful of how you're going to keep that food safe. So,
So we're going to talk a little bit about outreach because you do all of this work and it's important to let everybody know, which I think you mentioned a little bit. But
yeah, news and
Hunger
paper.
Free Oklahoma, they have tons of resources for free. You can go to their website. They've got posters and postcards and all kinds of tools that you can use that are already made for you to advertise your summer meals. And then they have this website, which a lot of you are probably familiar with, but the Meals for Kids OK.org. It's where families can go on and they are able to find locations, the summer feeding locations near them. And I did ask, and they do automatically get, like if you are doing summer feeding, they will get that information from the Department of Education. But they said you can contact, here's the two contact names if you want to get it to them sooner. You can contact them ahead of time to let them know. But they're a good resource for outreach materials.
Oh, wow. And communication, right? Yeah,
Mhm.
love that.
And this was a great tool. Do schools in OKC have this information? They should, because Hunger Free Oklahoma, I know they have a Tulsa office and they have an Oklahoma City office, but I'm not 100% sure if what information, Oklahoma City Public Schools has. But I do know Hunger Free covers the whole state. Um, Summer Foods, Summer Food, Summer Moons. This is a great resource book. It has lots of fun, like games and different things that you can send home with the family. And it just seemed like it was a really great resource. And there's the link for that. And I think that's the end. Do we have any questions? Chef Bill, do you have any additional? I guess I can turn my camera back on for a second so everyone can see me.
Yes. Um, I think the big thing is even if you've been doing it for years or even this is your first year, try to look at food trends. Try to see um what kids will be likely to eat because there's the good phrase, it's not nutritious until you consume it. So just try to be in tune with what trends are happening. So, sriracha's back on the on the scene. So you may want to make sriracha mayo ham sandwiches or something like that. So just think of how you can um make sure that your summer food program is as great as it can be. So, and then also, if you're closing down your kitchen, have a point person that will go in there and inspect it. I know that temperature logs of refrigeration has to be kind of recorded. When I worked for Tulsa Public Schools, we would always come back and that'd be the first thing is refrigeration problems. So even though that it was checking, hot weather can really take a toll on those condensers. So just make sure you know what you're getting yourself into when you come back. So
Let's see, we had a few questions. How do you obtain the certificate? So after this, I'll send out an email and there'll be a link. It'll be a link to a survey. You don't have to complete the survey to get the certificate. We would love for you to do that, but that's how it'll automatically generate a certificate for you through that link. Chef Bill, are you doing a class this Saturday?
I am doing a class this Saturday. Yes.
In Oklahoma City?
In Oklahoma City, it's for in-home daycare centers. So it's at the OSU Extension, which is where the health department is located as well, right
If
off
you
of
would like to
I-35.
register, you can go to cookingforkids.ok.gov.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else? Okay, Taylor has a question for us. If a childcare center is open year round, when and how would be the best time to do the maintenance?
Usually there are holidays, right? So not everyone likes to work on a holiday, but that's what I would say. Or yeah, that's probably holidays are probably Memorial Day. How about that?
Will you be doing a class on the 26th? I don't know off the top of my head. Bill, do you know your schedule off the top of your head?
Yeah, that's for the sponsor training in
Okay,
Oklahoma
yeah,
City.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Okay, well, we've got a few more minutes if anybody has any more questions. If not, we'll let we know your time is valuable. Will you add this to registry? Yes, we will. Yeah, and when we send the link, if you're needing CECPD credits, it'll ask for your number, and that's where you'll enter in your number, and then I will add that to the registry for all you all of our CACFP folks. Oh, one thing I didn't mention when we're talking about skill development training, this will be the first summer that all of our summer trainings will also be certified by or approved by CECPD. So you can get hours to
so
all.
everyone's welcome.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If you had a cycle menu, how do you incorporate the recipes you shared to use production into that?
That is a very good question. I would ask your state coordinator what their feeling is on that. My experience it has been varied. So some of them want you to use up product so it's not wasted. So, but just kind of reach out to them, get their blessing, and say, hey, I'm gonna do a chef's choice day. So just make sure you have all 5 components and then you're serving the right amount. So
The class offered to home daycares. No, those are all in person because they're hands-on trainings. So you actually get to get in the kitchen and cook with Chef Bill. So that's kind of what sets those trainings apart from our webinars. We like to get in the kitchen anytime we can, right, Chef Bill?
we do.
But we do have these webinars once a month. So if you aren't, we know everybody can't get to in-person training. So that's why we started doing these webinars once a month. Now, next month, May will be our last webinar until the fall. So we'll take a break from webinars in June and July because you saw our heavy schedule for the summer. That's when we do all of the majority of our summer or in-person trainings. But we'll pick back up our webinars in August. Yeah, Taylor said, cook smarter, not harder is the May topic.
Right. And then there was a question before that. Well, I don't know what FCCH is.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that is either. If you want to, and you can send me an email about that too. I'll put my
We will, and we've reached out to the Tulsa County Extension office about doing trainings there. So
yeah, we're trying to we've done them there in the past, and we're trying to get some more scheduled in Tulsa. So there'll be one locally. Family
and
childcare.
again,
Oh, yeah, family childcare home. Yes, we are working
yes.
on getting some of those scheduled in Tulsa.
Oh, for a Saturday class.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
Sorry, it took us a second.
I think there should be an acronym AEIOU.
Well, I do have a list of acronyms for child nutrition because there are a
Okay.
lot.
Well,
I might need to add that
we
one
should
to
put it
my
on a
list.
t-shirt. Well, thank you everyone for your patience with us just being not talking heads, but invisible heads today, I guess. So
Today's was a little bit different than normal. So yeah, thank you for being patient with
and
us.
thank you for your compliments that you enjoyed the class. So
Yes. And I guess we hope to see you next. Do we remember what the date is for our May webinar? I think May 8th, maybe. Ooh, no, I shouldn't say it if I don't know for sure.
changed it.
Yeah, we had to change it. It's on our website.
It is May
May
8th.
8th. Oh,
Uh-huh.
okay.
Yep.
Thanks, Taylor. Okay, well, we will see you all next month. If you have any questions about anything, just let me know. Like I said, I'll send out your email this afternoon and hope to see you soon. Thanks.
Thank you. Oh, I'm waving, but you can't see me. Okay. Bye. Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.